Before we get started on this journey, I wanted to let you guys know that this cruise was taken before the pandemic. I also decided to take this trip with my parents this time since I haven't traveled with them since I went with them to Disney World, and I was 12 years old back then. This was our first time on a cruise ship, so this was all new to us. We took a 7-day cruise to the Bahamas on the Norwegian Escape from New York City, which by the way is, at least at the time, the largest cruise ship that you can travel with from this city. Since this was my first time on a cruise, I had some mixed feelings, with some being positive and some being negative. I will share that with you later on in the video. The ship weighs almost 165,000 tons and can hold 4,266 passengers. It was built in the year 2015, so it is still considered new in ship years. There are 14 bars and lounges throughout the ship with more than 25 dining experiences. There's also a huge buffet at the Garden Cafe located on deck 16. I loved the buffet as they had a wide variety of food to enjoy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Although we mainly ate here for breakfast and sometimes lunch or dinner. Some of my favorite restaurants that I got a chance to try on the ship were Oceana's Bar and Grill, Savor or Taste. Savor or Taste, which is right next to each other and serves almost similar styles of food. And there are many other great restaurants to choose from. Now that we are past the food, let's get to the fun part. This ship has a casino that is located at 678 Ocean Place. You can't miss it. On deck 16, you will find an aqua park that offers a free fall slide, which I was chicken to try out at the time for some reason. Aqua Racer was my favorite slide on the ship since it was fun and offers some cool views at a certain part of the slide. The worst slide was this yellow one. I don't think it has a name, so we will just call it the worst slide I ever went on in my life. I got stuck halfway through and had to push myself down the rest of the way. How sad. One of the things I didn't get to try out was the ropes course because it was too windy on the 2 days heading back to New York City thanks to a hurricane that was following our ship nearby. The ropes course also includes a few zip lines. Spice H2O is all the way at the back of the ship. During the day, you can chill out on a lounge chair, dip into a hot tub, or you can cool off at the grotto. I spent all my time here at night when this place transforms into an entertainment venue. I did make a vlog dedicated to the night scene for the parties at H2O, and you can check that out in the description below. There is plenty of entertainment to enjoy on this cruise, from comedy shows, contests, and Broadway-style shows. Believe it or not, the first 2 Broadway shows I ever saw were on this ship, and I live in New York City. They also have shows and contests throughout the day. You will even find live performances happening throughout the ship. Some of them will take place by the main pool, and some you will find at different lounges. Each day, they will leave a schedule in your room that will show everything going on inside the ship. And now I will give you guys a quick tour of the room. Get an amazing view. Right now we are around South Carolina and headed towards Orlando, Florida. As you can see, balconies down there are a bit bigger. And we are at the front of the ship, which is actually one of the best areas to be at, except for when you want to eat something, of course, because all the restaurants are, most of them are at the back of the ship. So yeah, other than that, we got pretty big bed, king size bed. This is another this is a pull-out sofa that turns into a bed. This right here is the bathroom. Make sure to always leave the key card in when you're in the room, because otherwise nothing will work. None of the lights. You got to put that right in there, and there you go. And I believe also
door will not open if the key card is... Actually, yes it does. My bad. Okay.
I made sure to get a balcony as I have a hard time traveling without one. That was one of my favorite parts of going on a cruise. Being able to get out on the balcony and have a different view to see almost every time was pretty awesome. While at the Orlando, Florida port, we decided not to do any activities like visiting any Disney parks since they only give you about 6 hours at each park. We felt it wasn't worth it. Our second stop was at a private island in the Bahamas owned by Norwegian Cruise Line. We had to use small boats to get on the island since it does not have a cruise ship port. But this gave us an opportunity to see how enormous this ship truly is. When you first get on the island, you will be greeted by some big furry animals and the people who work there. There is a great vibe on the island. Anytime I see people dancing, it creates a good atmosphere for the place. It's a really small island that has some nice beaches. My only complaint would be that it is hard to find a lounge chair, so try to get there early. You can rent snorkeling gear for $30 and can be used until you leave for the day. While we were heading into the water, we spotted a huge fish swimming close to the shore. The water in some areas was very cloudy, and that's where I saw most of the fish. The areas that had the clearest water didn't have almost any fish to be seen. They also had a really cool area to buy some souvenirs where you will find some shot glasses, magnets, wooden sculptures, among other things. The third stop was at Nassau, Bahamas. We spent the day at Atlantis, although there were a few other options to consider while on this island. Atlantis has one of the largest aquariums that you can snorkel inside of for an extra charge. While roaming around, you will see all types of saltwater fish, sharks, lobsters, and many other sea creatures. If you want to hit up the water slides at Aquaventure, then you must pay a separate fee of around $60 and another $60 to get into the park itself. If you stay at the hotel, that's a whole other story, and you get the water park included. Beware of this cat. You will see him roaming around the restaurant begging for food. We gave him some salmon, so he never left us alone. Even though he appears to be cute, he won't be so friendly. I really enjoyed going on a cruise for the first time, and those were the highlights of this trip. Now I will go over the things I didn't like as much. First off, getting on and off the ship was a headache. The lines are long, especially for a ship of this size. If you are with someone who has a disability, you and your family will have the opportunity to get on the ship much faster. But don't try to go falling down a flight of stairs on purpose before your cruise, just so that you get the luxury of boarding the ship faster. Another thing I hated was you never really get used to the rocking of the ship, and when you're done with your cruise, everything feels like it's still moving for the first few hours. Almost feels like an earthquake, and it felt like torpedoes were hitting the ship every 5 minutes. It's also easy to catch a virus while on a ship, which brings me to wonder how many people will feel comfortable taking a cruise during the pandemic. The thing I hated the most was being stuck on a vessel. Even though you have plenty of space to roam around, you're confined to a ship until you reach the next port. That's it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed this cruise vlog. We will be seeing you guys on the next adventure.